Before talking about the dress, I feel that I should address the situation on my face. Yes, I'm fully aware of how ridiculous my makeup looks, but makeup is like any other art. There's a learning curve, and today I learned that things can quickly get out of hand when you're working with black eyeshadow, and the blue didn't help. I thought, blue dress, blue eyeshadow. It was acceptable in the 80s, but no, this is kind of a disaster. But seeing as how everything with this project has been kind of one disaster after the other, I've elected to just not care anymore and roll with it, because I don't have it in me to care. So that's the situation. This is my first attempt at the bodice. I based it off of a dress that I already had that fit quite well, so I was under the impression that, oh, if I just copy that pattern, I'll have a cute dress that's kind of similar to that one. I was wrong on every level with that assumption, because the drape of this fabric, even though they're both woven non-stretch fabrics, is very, very different than the drape on the dress that I had, and this turned out to be profoundly unflattering, and I'm just ashamed that I've made something so egregiously ugly. Just bloody awful, gotta say. So I scrapped that and I moved on to this bodice, which is kind of a very inaccurate take on 18th century conical stays. I based it off of a pattern from Sydney Eileen's blog. She has a great step-by-step tutorial on how to draft the pattern for conical stays. Obviously, I've bastardized it a little bit because I don't know anything about historical costuming. I just wanted a relatively simple bodice pattern. But, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever made. I feel like that award kind of goes here. For this month, at least. I'm sure I've made worse things. I started with an old dove gray duvet cover and dyed it blue. I used the bucket method for dyeing, but my bucket was a little bit small, so my dye job didn't turn out terribly even. After my first failed attempt at a bodice, I moved on to the skirt. The skirt was made out of two main panels sewn together only partway down to create some slits for the legs. I also added a small slit in the back of the skirt to make it easier to get in and out of later. I pleated the panels down to my waist measurement. Then added a waistband. In all honesty, the second attempt at the bodice was mostly winging it and hoping for the best. I inserted boning made out of zip ties and heavy-duty cable ties to add more structure to the bodice.
realized how much I'd squish out of the top once I'd finished it and laced it up, so if I ever use this pattern again, I'd probably add 1.5 inches or so to the top, as well as more boning, and probably interface the outermost layer to stabilize it and prevent wrinkles. I also ombre dyed the skirt in an attempt to add a little interest, but I neglected to film that part. Am I happy with the finished dress? No, but I haven't really been happy with anything I've made in a long time, so that's par for the course. I did learn a bit making it, and I think it will work for the costume I'm planning, but I feel kinda bad for wasting the fabric on something I won't get much wear out of. Not the first time that's happened though. All part of my learning process, I suppose.